We're listening to Cryon. We're listening to Cryon, the magnetic teacher.
Well, you wouldn't like that either, would you?
Stock market went up and then it crashed all of a sudden, so I bought a put right when it was kind of at its top. That put's going up 15, 12, 11, I'm sorry.
You'd say, well, that doesn't work. That's ridiculous. That's silly. And I'm saying to you, it's the same kind of attribute when it comes to spiritual truth. Spiritual sustenance is individual and unique. The search for truth is not the search for one thing that all will then participate in. That is a very 3D, biased, singular thought. So here's what you got to look at. I have told you that there's truth for every human being in the room, one that is isolated and separate and unique. Yet there is quantum effect here. When you get together, somehow those truths meld together one purpose, don't they? There is a commonality within your intuition of the face of God. There's a commonality of where the truth of the day is manifest in front of you. And those who experience it are okay with that, for they see the bigger picture. So the interesting thing is that although you come here as an individual seeking unique truth, together you are seeking one goal. Because in the higher connection between the truth, there is a synchronicity, and that is the love of God. The higher self you have, that esoteric thing you cannot see, seems to be the glue that makes the quantum effect work, seems to straighten it all out. There is your singularity. Intelligent cells. Let us talk about intuitive motion. Modern medicine does not like this, that there are light workers using their own bodies to test the chemicals in the foods that they should put in them. You call it kinesiology, muscle testing. Somehow, someway, your body is supposed to know, beyond what your brain or your intellect knows, of what's good for you and what's bad for you. Therefore, you see many light workers walking around doing these kinds of testing on their body, and it looks odd to those who don't share the belief. Too weird, they say. That's the silliest thing I've ever seen. What are those people doing? Let's put it into perspective. Will you cross this esoteric bridge with me? What's your biology designed to do? My partner, I want you to go slow on this one. What if you had a disease in your body? Let's pretend it was something like a cancer and it's present in you right now. Oh, intellectual one, whose brain is at the top of the evolutionary ladder. Why is it you don't know it? Why doesn't your brain alert you? Aren't you tuned into the cellular structure of every cell? Shouldn't your brain be getting the message that something is growing inside you that's not only inappropriate, but that might even cause you death? Every system in your body is wired up to talk to your brain, so why don't you know it? I will tell you, you evolved this way, for your body is about survival, and it's always in survival mode first. If there were a neural protocol to inform you every time your body's antibodies went into action, you would be in constant anxiety. Very bad for survival. No, you're kept from it. It's a total and complete block. You could be carrying it around with you and discovered it accidentally. Too late. Doesn't seem right, does it? However, you are designed to have a consciousness where the brain believes that the body's defenses are good enough to take care of anything, so it doesn't bother you with the details. But your cellular structure knows all about it, wouldn't you think? Every cell knows what's going on. So you have then a subconscious system that is working these things. Perhaps for months there has been a battle every day within the cells, yet you walk around having no idea. So a system exists that takes the innate knowledge of what is going on in your cellular structure and communicates it to you. It's out of the intellectual loop. Very difficult to believe for logical thinkers, and it's called kinesiology. Try it. Your body will give you information if you ask it in ways that go around the intellect. It is real. It is practiced by many. So there is a reality record. It is also the same process used for what you have called the pendulum. Your fingers grasp the pendulum on the end of the chain of the string. And which direction it goes helps you to decide what to do for yourself. Yet many who see this run screaming the other way. You must be part of some evil cult, they say. Somehow they have assigned what you are doing to mythology. You are using the energy of the devil, they say. You are using the pendulum. Gasp. What is going on with the process of the pendulum is simply mini kinesiology. It is literally that muscles of the finger beyond your ability to control them, responding to a question that is about cellular structure. As you try to hold your fingers very still, the muscles move to give you a message. swinging the pendulum one way or the other. It's innate intelligence trying to go around your intellect through your muscles, and it works. What would you think of a medical doctor whipping out his pendulum for answers every time you wanted to know dosages? Well, some do. One is actually here. Use this process if you wish to find out what's going on in your body, what's best for you. What kind of food are you allergic to? All of these things your body knows, but the intellect is in survival, in the 3D box, and won't tell you anything. Astrology. Let's move to another one. Astrology. Unfortunately, I cannot talk to you about astrology tonight because it's not esoteric. It is extremely scientific. It's the oldest science on the planet, so I'll postpone the astrology until later. I will give you the physics of it, how it works, and why it works. Perhaps I'll take the magic right out of it, and some of you might not like that. For many love the mysticism of it all. The definition of mysticism is the unexplained science of God. Numerology, an energy system. I wish to broach a subject that is so difficult and which defines esoteric. The 3D part of you must suspend itself completely for this explanation to even come close to being succinct. If I'm going to tell you how numerology works, I'm going to have to tell you about the other side of the veil. I'm going to have to tell you about an interdimensional state of quantumness that represents the way things work for you, but that you are unaware of. In this string of reality that you're on, which is linear, a time frame that is so limiting you cannot stop the clock. It keeps going no matter what. You cannot reverse it. It only goes in one direction, and you're always moving. You can't stop. You can't go forward at another speed or backward at all. What a limitation. Imagine now going to a place where there is no time at all, where reality can move in all directions at once. There is a tremendous amount of confusion for you because everything looks random. Instead of an orderly, singular 3D reality, it looks like chaos. What you are seeing is every potential possible for you and your neighbor and everyone on the planet, all together in one place. There is no timeline put upon any of them. Therefore, not only are the potentials there of what you might do after you leave this meeting, but the potentials of what you used to do and what you call the past. All the potentials that were there that you missed and did not do, all together in one place. Can you imagine something that is so chaotic? So you sit and you look at this and it looks so confusing and disorganized, and all you say is, get me back to that linear string where it is so simple. This is a quantum state, and to you, as you cross the bridge from 3D even marginally into that quantum state, it looks chaotic, incredibly chaotic, because there are no visible rules. There's no system, apparently, because the things you see don't follow what you'd expect in 3D. They're not simple or singular or organized in a way you can figure out. So you say, get me out of here. This is similar to the situation where you have sightless humans from birth who are suddenly able to have limited sight through your new scientific discoveries. But when they receive it, they say, cover my eyes. It's just too different than the simplicity of what I'm used to. So it is with the 3D individual. When they go across the veil, it looks like chaos. It isn't, but it isn't what they are used to. Even your best scientists had difficulty in the early days of quantum physics. They saw the apparent disorganization and randomness and objected. They shouted phrases like, my God cannot be chaotic God. I will not be part of a system that is chaotic. It's not the way the universe works. There must be a system. There must be a plan. There have to be laws, no chaos. And they're right. For now we say to you that what appears to be 3D confusion is quantum organization. There actually is a system, and it has to do with vibration and energy. In this system, anything that vibrates at any frequency in an interdimensional way sets up potentials that are marked for their vibratory rate. This is very difficult to explain. They then become marked potentials. These represent potentials that are most likely to manifest into 3D reality because there is a unique vibration around them as opposed to ones that do not vibrate. In addition, there are strings of vibration that are beautiful, that are always between all of the potentials. There are strings between what appears to be the chaos between one person and another, how they met, what they do. You call this coincidence, but a lightworker calls it synchronicity. Whatever you call it, it represents a system with rules, but ones that don't conform to 3D. Many say there are no accidents. This statement infuriates logical thinkers who then say, that is the silliest thing I ever heard. There are no accidents? Of course there are accidents. No, there are no accidents. They are manifestations of potentials into realities based upon the vibration of the quantum attributes, and it links to what you call co-creation. It isn't necessary what you call planning, but there is organization involved. It's a beautiful system. Look, what brought you here? Are you having an epiphany? Is there something going on here, an energy here? Well, there is. I know who's here. And you think that's an accident. What brought you to a chair in front of me? What brought your eyes to this page or your ears to this hearing? That's what I'm talking about. That's not an accident. There's a system going on, and you are part of it. Every time you see a 11:11 on a clock, do you say, oh, what a coincidence? Or perhaps you know that the energy of the number 11 is within numerology. It is enlightenment and illumination. Two number ones together, each one meaning new beginning. Together, a master number happens that represents enlightenment and illumination. And why is it shown to you so often? It's a sign of the age. It is the number of the age. Numerology is a vibration. And when you look at its significance and you see what the numbers may mean in your life, pay attention. The system creates this, and numerology fits in perfectly to a system of vibration. Cross another bridge with me and pay attention to that tarot spread, which some of you said is a work of the devil. You lay cards out and somehow they're going to tell you what to do. Isn't that fortune telling? No, that's not what it is. Tarot has nothing to do with telling you the future. Listen, if you're only hearing this for the first time, let me tell you what this is. The tarot spread is a beautiful, intuitive way of straightening out the chaos for a moment. Just for a moment, so you may see some of the things in your life through this system that helps you understand your energy better. Again, it shows you what the intellect does not know, for it reveals the energy of vibration within the system that we're talking about. What a beautiful system this is. Esoteric, take it or leave it. Numerology has been around a long time. After all, it's not the new age. It's quite old. Could it be that the ancients knew something that you're just now rediscovering? Could it be they knew about the numbers and they were using them all along? There are those who say, using numerology, we must be having something brewing for September this year. For this is the year of 2007, and September is 9 also. What is it? The 9-year vibration in 2007 represents the end, completion, a wrapping up of something. Next to it is the next year, 2008, which is a 1. 2008 equals 10 equals 1. This represents starting over, a singularity and new beginnings. Every 9 years this occurs. You have a 9 and a 1. That's just math. But who has put together the 9-year cycle? Draw the numbers together and see what has happened within them, or the potential around them. Let me just give you a hint. The last time it happened, 9-year cycle, you were within 1 year of the prediction of the Armageddon that you did not experience. Did you notice this? There's always a potential for shift to complete one thing and start another. And here you are in the 9-year again. You might say, but on 9/7, that's got to be something that's going to happen, right? There are several dates within that month that will also be a 9 vibration.
Do you hear it?
For instance, the 18th or perhaps the 27th.
We'll come back to you. That put keeps going up, baby.
I will tell you what's going to happen.